By now, you've probably seen all the other college advice videos where they tell you generic advice like get a planner or don't skip class. This is not that video. I'm going to give you the real deal, no bullshit survival guide to university. So buckle up because I'm going to be moving fast and I'm going through every single thing you need to know from exams to party life. First, if you were to forget every other piece of advice from this video, but remember one thing, it would be don't make any mistakes that will haunt you for the rest of your life. This means don't have a kid unexpectedly, don't get addicted to hard drugs, don't get kicked out of university, and sure as hell, do not get a DUI. You may be shrugging your shoulders like you've heard this a million times, but I've seen genuinely good people ruin their lives off of one drunk mistake on a random Tuesday. It's real and you will see it happen. Just make sure it's not you. Now we can actually get to the fun advice. College can basically be summed up in 3 parts: friends, academics, and everything else. Starting with friendships in college, you may be asking, older brother, how the do I make new friends in college? Well, if you're a freshman in your first few weeks, go to the orientation events and other welcome events in that first month. These are literally created for you to meet new people. So go to them and actually meet new friends. Throughout college, especially freshman year, everyone is constantly open to meeting new friends. Even if it looks like one group of people are a clique, chances are they'll be open to you joining the friend group. This is not high school anymore. Everyone's just out here trying to get a job and get drunk, running off of ramen noodles. So it's really not that deep. The other thing that I highly recommend to everyone is joining clubs or a sports team. They're an incredible way to meet new friends and network with like-minded people. Not only that, but they also look really fucking good on a resume, especially if you're in one of the leadership roles of the club or team. And they're usually just really fun, super educational, or both. So why not try it out? Moving on to dorm life, I'm gonna assume you're in one of those standard double rooms with one other randomly assigned roommate. My advice is try to get to know your roommate, and if he seems cool, just run duos with him for the first few weeks. Go to the dining hall together, attend the events, go to the parties. Having a buddy makes all of this social stuff so much easier because you already have someone there to talk to. Even if you're both introverts, according to my math, 2 introverted people equal 1 extrovert, so you guys are good. Now, if you're assigned a weird roommate or someone you don't really vibe with, just be cordial, set some expectations, and do your own thing. It may be annoying to deal with this, but it gives you a good excuse to go hang out in the dorm lounge and meet some new people there. And real quick, I know a lot of you guys have personal questions you want answered, so for this video only, I'm going to do my very best to respond to every single question you guys have about college, so drop those comments below. Now, I know college is really just about the parties and keg stands and hooking up, but there does come a point where you actually have to do some work. No one likes it, but it's a necessary evil. You need to understand one thing about classes. Unlike high school, being a bad student is no longer cool. If you skip classes and fail exams and don't pass, your friends won't look at you and think, oh, this guy's so cool, skipping class to watch Netflix. They'll actually think, well, this guy's gonna be a bum in a few years, don't want to be friends with him. Take academics somewhat seriously. You're paying for it and it is your future after all. You should also not expect the professors to actually teach you anything at all. While they may stand there, say some words, and write some other things on the board, expect to spend dozens of hours listening to the organic chemistry teacher to really learn things. This also ties in with not relying on students for anything in class. Oh, that study guide that you guys were going to make together? They ended up adding 4 bullet points from Wikipedia and 3 of them were wrong. Oh, the Quizlet study set that one girl made for the exam. Out of the 120 terms, there were 4 on the exam. You get the message. If you want something done right, just do it yourself. And if you actually want to do well in your classes, build a relationship with the professor. I make it mandatory to go up to every single professor on the first day of class to shake their hand, introduce myself, and tell them how excited I am for the class. Even if it's physics, try to show some genuine interest to the professor. This will come in handy later when you forget the midterm paper was due last night and you need to submit late, or you're screwed on an exam, you can just ask for help. Remember, most of them are human too, so if you're just honest in telling them you have zero clue what's going on, they'll almost always do their best to help. And no academic advice video would be complete without mentioning these lifesavers right here. Use LibGen to get all of your textbooks for free. I've never spent a single penny on one. Rate My Professors for finding the nice, easy grading professors. Chegg will have most of your homework answers on it, and if they're not on Chegg, they'll probably be on Quizlet, which I also highly recommend using to study. And for the true pros who never want to write another essay again, tell ChatGPT you're a first-year uni student, now write this essay. But if you copy and paste that answer directly, you will get caught. So be very careful with this one and maybe just use it for a couple sentences here and there. And to wrap up academics, I highly recommend becoming an addict. of caffeine, of course. Basically, the ultimate super drug to 10x your energy and your health only marginally decrease. I wish it was sponsored, but 2 cans of Celsius alone could have probably given the Egyptians enough energy to build a 3rd pyramid, so I think it can power you to get through your biology homework. Now for the part all of you guys have been waiting for, everything else. First off, if you're going to be going out to bars and clubs, you're most likely going to need a McLovin. If you don't know what that is, watch the movie Superbad. It's basically a mandatory movie to watch before getting to college. If you don't already have a McLovin, ask around your dorm floor and try to hop in with a group order. This will make your social life and going out a million times easier. If you haven't drank or partied a lot before college, there are a couple things you should know. First, learn the 3 basic party games: beer pong, rage cage, and flip cup. I'm not going to explain the rules here, just Google it. Next, do not get blackout drunk and throw up everywhere in your first few weeks. It's pretty embarrassing, nobody likes a sloppy drunk, and you don't want to tarnish your reputation right off the rip. For how to act at the party, just pretend you've been there before. You can be excited, but if you don't want to stick out as a freshman, don't go around taking Snapchat videos saying, "I'm in college," or you can just embrace being a freshman. It's really up to you. The other thing that I always tell people is have a right-hand man when going out. This can be your roommate or another friend you meet, but you never know when something's going to go down. Whether there's a fight or one of you guys black out, you need someone there to have your back. And the best part about this is, if, for example, you do get blackout drunk and your right-hand man isn't there to help you out, then you know he's not a good friend to have. Now, switching themes a bit, you may not believe it, but you're going to have a lot of free time in college. Whether it's between classes or later in the night, you'll very often find yourself wondering what to do with your time. My best advice for occupying this free time is establishing habits or doing things to make your life better in the long term. So whether it's going to the gym, hanging out with new friends, working on a passion project, or reading a book, try to make your spare time productive and not just binging The Office for the 100th time. In college, I tried starting like 4 different businesses in my spare time. Some made me a ton of money and others failed miserably, but I learned a ton about running a business. If entrepreneurship has ever been on your radar, there's literally no better time to try and start a business than in college. I've always said to people, worst case scenario, I still have a soft bed to sleep in, a warm dinner ready, and I leave with something pretty damn cool to put on my resume. You're gonna get lonely at points, so find something to occupy your mind. And finally, you may have noticed that I left out a few details like what should you actually say to people to be your friend or how to focus on schoolwork. Well, if you like this video, you'll f***ing love the rest of this channel. I've made plenty of other videos on all of these topics, so be sure to like this video and subscribe for more like this. Good luck in college this year, guys. You have the knowledge now, so go out and use it.